Ignoring the trigger just tends to make the trigger worse because it puts you entirely at the whim of others. Someone else tells a joke, you suffer. It doesn't seem ideal, does it? This is what I've never quite understood about people who allow themselves to be triggered, especially by something like a joke, especially by something like a comedian like Dave Chappelle or Alex Stein. Like, they're telling a joke, and you get so pissed at them for telling a joke that you make yourself suffer for them telling a joke. You're not making them suffer at all. They're just fine. They told the joke. They had a grand old time. They probably amused themselves. But you are making yourself suffer in response to them telling a joke. That just doesn't seem like a great idea. Again, this is why when you don't understand the art of the trigger, you will allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated and taken advantage of. And the only person that is hurt when that happens is you. You are not hurting the people that triggered you. You are only hurting yourself. Why should you suffer emotionally because someone else made a joke you don't like? Or spoke to you in a way that reminded you of mommy? Or loved you when you didn't feel worthy of it? There's no reason to suffer when that happens, but oftentimes we don't know something is triggering until we experience the triggers. Something bothers us and we don't know why, and then it happens again and again. Slowly, we may be able to figure out where it's coming from, even if we can't fully identify it. That's especially true if you're actively looking for it. So, if in the context of you getting triggered, you are able to say, hang on, hold up. Why am I getting triggered by this? All Alex Stein did was tell a joke. All Alex Stein did was call me a big booty Latina. All he did was tell a joke. Why is that triggering to me? Why is it triggering to me, as AOC, for Alex Stein to call me his favorite big booty Latina? It's a joke. It's actually a compliment. Alex Stein is actually giving me a compliment. He's calling me my favorite big booty Latina. That's what AOC should have done. That's not what AOC did. AOC stomped up to the top of the Capitol in a huff and filmed a video behind her shoulder saying, this man is harassing me. AOC was so triggered by Alex Stein. It was great, but it was entirely a self-trigger. Alex Stein was giving her a compliment. But AOC didn't stop herself to say, why is this triggering to me? If in the midst of being triggered, you can acknowledge why, or you don't even need to know why. You don't even need to know why. If in the midst of being triggered, you can stop yourself and say, hold up. I'm feeling a little triggered right now. And maybe I don't know exactly what's triggering me. But what I do know is I'm not going to allow this person calling me a big booty Latina to have power over me. I'm not going to allow this person telling a joke in front of me to piss me off or to emotionally manipulate me. You have the power to disrupt your own thought process. This, by the way, is cognitive behavioral therapy. This is entirely cognitive behavioral therapy, which, yes, Deb, I have studied. It's cognitive behavioral therapy. You're trying to disrupt your own thought process. You know, you're not always going to have a cognitive behavioral therapist sitting around to walk you through these exercises. Sometimes you need to learn to do for yourself, all right? You want to disrupt your own thought process, so that you can stop the trigger in the midst of it. And then once you stop the trigger, you can say, why is that triggering to me to begin with? And if you can identify the root cause of that trigger, why it's triggering for you to begin with, that's when you can start to unpack the emotional baggage that you've developed across your entire life. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with developing emotional baggage. We all develop emotional baggage. Every single one of us develops emotional baggage, all right? There's nothing wrong with it. There's no shame in it. There's nothing that you should feel bad about. That's called living life and having a human experience. And that's all that is. But I promise you, if you are able to get to the root causes of why these things are triggering for you, you're going to be able to release that negative emotion, and you're going to be able to go through life much happier and experiencing much less triggers.